Greetings, TOMA Nation family and Facebook world. My name is Taharka Jaja Shakur, and I have the honor and glorious opportunity to introduce to you our speaker, who is our leader, our teacher, and our guide, the Honorable and God.
It sounds like God.
I said God. It sound like I said God. And our leader, our teacher, and our guide, the Honorable Minister Raheem Cassette Octon.
Attention, present arms. Order, arms. Original salute.
Black power!
Original salute.
Black power!
Original salute.
Black power!
Black power is only the power to define, power to develop, and the power to defend that which is in the best interest of black people. In the name of the everlasting Father, He that causeth all that exists to exist, He that is self-existent, He who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, He who made time and seated the universe, is known among ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Ati, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari. I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same, one, Almighty God. And it is to Him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we are those children of the black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, and that we are that lost 13 tribe, born here in North America, and that we are of a Nubian Canadian lineage. Woo. What a world. I greet you all in the ancient but yet holy words of peace in the languages of our fathers of Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Abaragani, Alafil, and Ashe. All greeting words and salutations in the languages of our fathers. I greet you all in peace. Welcome, welcome to the TOMA Nation, aka Temple Mercy Association. We're located or broadcasting live from the Bob Business Center located at 644 East on 79th Street on this Sunday, believe it to be June 2nd, the 3rd, 2018. I am Brother Minister Raheem Cassette Octon, founder of the TOMA Nation, along with our co-founder, Minister Omari Jahi Octon, and our First Lady, Sister Makita Aisha Octon. Well, this is the day that the Lord has made, and let us rejoice and be glad in it. I am here today by the grace of God and by His permission. I made a little mistake earlier because I'm just a little tired, but you know, somewhere in the good word it says, be ready, in season and out of season. And so, based on the calling that the Creator placed on me, I must be ready. This month, the month of June, TOMA Nation starts off and kicks off our 90-day economic drive and strive, where we bring information and knowledge from 3 different major contributors in our world. I say in the black world, men and women who were economically successful as black people here in America. And the TOMA Nation have what we call prescribed readings. I always want to remind you all that the TOMA Nation's prescribed readings were created or given to us that we might have a well-rounded understanding of our people, where we are, where we came from, and where we are going in these three areas. And it is health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Without those, then we might as well just go back to just accepting our condition as it is. And the reason why we are real specific on how we pronounce leader, teacher, and guide is because we don't want the people to think that the members of this movement is trying to lift up a God, G-O-D, but more so recognize me under the proper titles, which is leader, teacher, guide, messenger, warner of Allah, warner from the Creator, and interpreter for this day and time. We don't use the term prophet or evangelist because the prophets prophesied of what we are in right now. And so you don't need anybody to prophesy anymore because Revelation is alive and kicking in 2018. So we need those who can interpret Revelation, who can interpret what time it is on planet Earth, that we might be guided around a lot of the stuff, the crap that's going on in the world, and be led righteously and kept in line with the Creator of the heavens and earth. So according to the word, it says, watch and pray, so that we can be found worthy to do what, y'all? Escape. Don't you want to escape this stuff that's going on that Revelation talks about? Don't you want to be able to say, man, look at what's going on. I thank the Lord that He showed me a way out. There are some things you have to do in order to be, what I call it, one of those that the Creator would be calling on in these last days to be a representative that you might escape. You don't escape without doing the work. You're not worthy to escape if you're just sitting around talking. And according to what was read in the Holy Quran, it mentions something about staying in line with the Creator through constantly reading and studying His Word. Well, that's the way for any of us to stay in line. Reading and studying His Word on a daily basis. Because you'll fall off the path and you don't get too many warning signs to let you know you fell off the path. You have to really be deep into the Word and into the law and into the bylaws of the movement to know when you've fallen off. And then you have to get back on it, because it's not that you fall, it's how fast you get up. We all gonna fall. But we all got to start getting up a little sooner and getting back on what it is we supposed to be on. If we're going to be those type of representatives, then we got to stay true to our purpose, which is to bring about the growth of the righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator, under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Rahim Kasir Ati. Most of our prescribed readings are not given to the membership that they might read it and just get their own interpretation and understanding, but more so to read it and come and get the interpretation given to me as a conduit of this energy or this spirit. Energy is in nature, which means in God. Energy in nature. So that is how you have an organized way and method of keeping people united under the same understanding. That is a form of unity. When we're united under the same understanding. Brothers and sisters, just to be honest with you, we do study words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, words of the Honorable Ben Amin, words of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We do study their philosophies, their opinions, but we do not agree 100% with any of them, and we would be a fool to do so. Why? Because they weren't perfect either. They weren't perfect. But we have 13 points of what we believe and know. And the first point of what we believe and know in this movement is that we are not to repeat the mistakes. Why? Is it because that's the dirty laundry that we want to put before the public to let the people know what they did and how they messed up? No, we don't search for that reason. But we know that if we're going to walk the same path of those mighty men and those mighty women, that we're going to run into some of the same obstacles that they ran into and some of the same decisions that's going to have to be made on our people, and decisions that's got to be made in disciplining our people. We're going to be faced with the same thing they were faced with. And if somewhere in their writings we saw that the decision that they made could have been a different choice, could have been a different decision, there would have been a different outcome, then that is where we change that so that we might walk perfect. That's the purpose for us studying that. You don't just study the good, you study the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you don't go and expose the bad and the ugly to the world. Everybody know now the faults of Martin Luther King, the faults of Malcolm X and whatnot. But that is not the purpose for people of God and children of light to understand that on. It is for us to understand it because we, today, being the lights, your dirty laundry can be exposed. And that's why you hear the terminology in the Bible where it says, judge not, lest ye be judged. Lest ye be judged means this. See, people think it means, the Bible says don't judge nobody. It did not say that. And that's why we read the King James Version, because every version after that was diluted more times than any other Bible that you can ever dilute. It was already diluted to the King James Version. But now you got the new King James Version. Then you got the New World Translation. Then you got this person's translation. And every time they translate it, it gets watered down more and more and more. To be reading all those other ones today is like drinking the water in Flint, Michigan. Thought I'd share that. So, in the King James Version, it says, judge not lest ye be judged. So what does it actually mean, so that our brothers and sisters can stop thinking that it means we don't, or we are not allowed to judge anybody? That's not what that means. It's telling you exactly what it says. Judge not. Well, why? Lest you can stand the judgment too. In other words, don't dish out what you can't take. That's basically what it's saying. It says if you can't take it, then don't you do it. But as sure as you do it, you stand in line of judgment yourself. They say this to ministers, to messengers, to people of God who lead people. They warn you too. They warn the preacher. They say, be careful of the standard that you set for your people. And his standards that he set for the people is always supposed to be from the laws and the commandments of God himself. But they say just be careful of how you enforce those standards. He says because by the same standards that you uplift to your people are the same ones that they'll use to bring you down. Not your people, but the enemy will take them same standards that you bring before your membership and look into your past and look into your history and look into the things that you might be doing that are not properly in line with your own movement. And they'll bring you down. Now, please, if you're not listening, you can surely become a victim of what you forgot or what you missed. Because what I'm saying is happening as I speak. I don't know to who or to what, but it's happening every day. Now, me, myself, I have to be honest with you. In 26 years, I done been pushed and ran through the ringer. I don't know if there's anything new they can say about me. I was hearing stuff before Sure Aaron got here. I'm telling you, am I right, Brother Mark?
Yes, sir.
I was hearing stuff after Sure Aaron got here. Ebony walked in stuff. Tahaka just gonna get a drop of it and eventually gonna get hit with a brick. But it ain't gonna be new. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. It ain't nothing new. I ain't heard that. I mean, I'm like, you mean y'all can't find nothing new? God. But that's a good thing, ain't it? That you don't find nothing new. That I'm just going about like Jesus said, going about my Father's business. And then I'm like that guy in Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. He said, do what you can and do what you do. I won't even notice. I'll be too busy looking good. I like that. This movement is to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the community of urban America. Now I notice that in our movement we teach our brothers and sisters to listen to every word a person says. Every word. Why? The English language is so poison that words can have triple meanings. And in all these triple meanings, you pick one. But it might not be what the person talking is saying. And so it's always good to try to find out exactly what it means. Like when my brother Tahaka said, yeah, I got to show you this form. I say, F-O-R-U-M or F-O-R-M? You see how exact you got to be? Because if you're not precise with this English language, you'll be running around saying, you waiting on a form to come, F-O-R-M. When he's talking about a forum, F-O-R-U-M. See? And that's how terrible that language is, and that's why I say be clear. Communication got to be clear. Don't walk away assuming what somebody said. Call them on the phone. Text them. Is this what you meant? Because if you don't do it, assumption is at an all-time high. Most people come to their conclusions on an assumption. Most people, not some people. Most people come to their conclusions on an assumption. What is the mission of this movement? To enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties. We got a business we still trying to get on 79th Street in Hermitage. That's property. TOMA Nation was given a property, a residential house. We're also talking about creating jobs. That's a little bit different. See, now, this is the month that we start off with our economic drive. From June, July, all the way through August. And when we talk about this thing with jobs, and this is why we clash with so many of our black brothers and sisters sometimes, because they promote primarily get a job. You ever notice that? Get you a job, we'll tell our young brothers and sisters. Whereas Dr. Evans, our black economic patriarch, said, it ain't so much as telling our brothers and sisters to go and get a job from the same people who put us in this predicament, but more so, create a job for yourself. How? With the gifts and talents that God already gave us. The greatest job in the world is selling. You know that, right? You can sell the right product or the wrong product. Right?
Yes.
Most of our corporations that started, big corporations that started as salespeople.
Right.
Selling. You master that, you're well on your way to becoming successful. First person you have to sell, and it can be done positively or negatively, is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now you figure out how you want to sell yourself.
Right.
Ain't that true?
It's correct.
Now I would prefer to sell myself in my image and my words. Now how you might sell yourself, I think they said in the sales word, you got to know your why. So get to know your why, and then, make your decision. So we're talking about creating jobs, establishing entrepreneurship training programs. Now, let's look at that. Let's balance that out. How many times do we see people teaching entrepreneurship training programs as opposed to every time we go somewhere, we're going to job training programs? Mostly what?
Yeah.
Job training programs, ain't it? See, that's what makes us clash all the time with blacks when we trying to work with one another, because we at the table talking about entrepreneurship programs, they talking about more jobs. We're at the table talking about create a job, Negro. While they at the job talking about find a job, find a job. We got the wrong mindset. This is why black people went against this man. This is why it was our own people who brought this man down. I'm telling it like it is, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. This man was one of the most prosperous entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs of our time in the 20th century. S.B. Fuller. And our own people boycotted him. Damn it, but we won't boycott Trump today. But we'll boycott our own. And I think we need to wake up, and I think we need to do like Will said, he used this word real good. We need to recalibrate ourselves. We need to recalibrate our mind. Because see, this is one of the mistakes we will repeat if we don't wake the hell up. Because I know it's going to be some more entrepreneurs out here. And I know it's going to be some more great men and women coming up with this same mentality, this same understanding of how we can get off the economic bottom. And I know it's going to be some Negroes and niggerettes who are going to do the same thing and come to the same conclusion that they came to when they wanted to boycott him. But we want to derail that idea. This man didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. And everything that he did for black people wasn't televised, wasn't written down, was not talked about in an interview. But the Negroes he helped, they knew who they were. This is one of the prescribed readings in the month of June of the TOMA Nation, S.B. Fuller's book. You can purchase this book at the Dudley Bible College. It's located, I believe it's 4th in Green, right off Austin. You can't miss it. Pick up that book. Read about this man. I'm going to share a little bit about him. And I would hope that you would take it on and read more and more about it. Now, you heard what our mission is. It's of an economic side. But yet it's a spiritual side to it too. Because we say that we have to re-educate our youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behavior. The way we spend our money is delinquent behavior. You know that, right? And it ain't about we against spending money. We supposed to spend money. It's about how our mind is geared as to where we supposed to spend it at and with. We know that black people don't have everything that we supposed to have to be 100% economically self-sufficient. We know that. But we know that we're not doing enough with what we got. We're still making excuses. And I commend people like Tequila Shabazz, people like Cassiopeia, Sledge. I forgot her African name she gave at the end. But that ain't what I'm trying to stand on. Uhuru. Thank you. And they are, like 24 hours a day thinking of ways and means of how to get us off the economic bottom. Young sisters that need to be supported by more black brothers. I'm just saying it like it is. Need to be supported by more black brothers. Working together in unity to help those two sisters do what God has given them the assignment to do for our people. I love them two sisters. When I read about them on Facebook and when I see what they do, Tequila on Friday mornings, when I see Cassiopeia do with that black mall and whatnot, yeah, we hear some negative stuff too. Always gonna hear something negative about somebody because you always have a negative nigga syndrome person who want to turn around and say something bad and look for the bad in somebody. When you find that nigga shave his whole head off, I don't mean scalp. I hope you caught what I said. I don't mean shave his scalp. I mean cut his neck off. Now, somebody gonna go and cut somebody's neck off and say the minister said.
Minister told me to do it. I said I got a few of them.
Yeah, here come the authorities. Damn, I tape again on Facebook. Is this what you said? Is this you saying it? I'm gonna let y'all know now. I told you when I first got up here, I'm tired. I'm wore out. And I might say anything. So this is what you're getting today. But I will not condone a person if they do exactly that. I know that everything is symbolic and actual and allegorical. You pick the one you choose. Now back to SB4. Look, I'm trying to share with you all some stuff that it's going to take for us to do to become economically strong as a community. And these are the basics that you build on, because you can't start at the top down. I mean, there was a time when we as a people, that's how we built, from top down. But because this white world and capitalism don't understand that kind of math, then if we're gonna survive, we gotta build bottom up. That's only for survival. When we get back to the true science of what we're about, see, the pyramids were built from top down, not bottom up. And one day, if you want to understand that, come to our study class and we'll let you know. Because everything the black man did when they built it was from top down and not bottom up. The foundation was at the top. One day I'll explain that. So now, in these 3 months, we got S.B. Fuller. And then in our last month, we got the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who gave us the red, black, and green flag that all black people in the United States and all over the world should unite under, because it gives us that other sense of oneness and the sense of pride that we should be able to have to say, we are one with that flag. And I don't care if your organization has its own flag. Well, so what? There are many places where we go when we uniting as a nation, where you have your main flag that represents who you are as a people, and then you have the flag of your organization or your group. But have that one presented everywhere, in all your organizations, and in your home. I can go through some communities and they got a flag on their porch, and it's the American flag. You can have the American flag if you really feel that proud of it, but I want you to put the red, black, and green flag up next to it. You want unity? That's where we start. That's where we start. And wear your flag proudly. Don't let the LGBT community raise their flag more proudly than you raise your red, black, and green. Y'all feel me?
Yeah.
And if you got one of those flags because you wanted them and you got yours outside your house, put the red, black, and green next to it. Because brothers and sisters, you're black first. Shall I say that again? You're black first. With all your faults, you're black first. And that's unity. And so, you even come up to date with another brother. He's not deceased. But within this 3-month time period, dealing with economics, we bring to you our brother Claude Anderson. He's not deceased. He's a very wise black man. One of the wisest among our times right now. Warning black people, showing black people, laying the blueprint out of what we need to do to get off the economic bottom. Going on tours. First book, not the first book, one of his books that he put out, Powernomics. That's one of the prescribed readings of the TOMA Nation. He recently wrote another book. I don't remember the name of it, but I'm just sharing with you how the TOMA Nation is well-rounded in dealing with economics. We can go further dealing with economics in November when we study Dr. Webb Evans' book, How Blacks Can Get Off the Economic Bottom. So as you can see, we get almost 4 months dealing with economics. Why? Because that is connected to our spirituality. You're going to tell me that you don't have a different spirituality when you broke than when you ain't broke? Come on, tell the truth. I'll say this again. Economics is connected to your spirituality. You can't have one without the other. Poverty has a different spirit than wealth. Correct?
Absolutely.
Now, if I'm wrong, y'all tell me. But I saw the face of poverty. And I saw the face of wealth. And they do not look the same.
Not at all.
So this is a spiritual movement. And God, being the God of all, is in all. And it's in everything, good or bad. So now it depends on how you tap into the God in order to receive the blessings that he promised. Right? So now, in our movement, we're in a place called the Bach Business Center, where there's another powerful young man that we have to know about. His name is Brother Roland Davis. We call him Roland. And look, they say that sometimes millionaires or successful people got to fall 1 or 2 times before they stand strong. And each fall make them stronger when they get back up. He first started the Bach Biz Center over on 79th and Exchange. And because of lack of support from guess who? Us, U.S. It failed. But he didn't stay down long, because it's not that you fall. It's what y'all say.
How fast you get up.
How fast you get up. So he got back up. He got back up. And he went for it again. And today, he has the Bach Biz Center, 644 East on 79th, where you can come in and rent a space and be on the computer to get information that you need to have. That you can come in and get copies of things that you need for yourself and your business. That you can use this address as your business address. That you can rent office space. That you have a big office that you can use to have your meetings where, since you ain't downtown and in one of those big office buildings, then you can go and use his meeting room with a desk as long as the room with chairs all around it, like you're in one of them big old plush meeting rooms of some of your most wealthiest people. You got to create the image before you step into it. It starts up here. So that's why we're here. That's why we're supporting him. That's why we have a space here. That's why we're even renting more time and space here. Because we want to do our part. We can't do it all, but we just ask black brothers and sisters to do your part. Do your part. I'm not one of the handkerchief head Negroes. I've been around for a long time, but as the TOMA Nation for 27 years. And when I see up and coming brothers and sisters walking in that same path that the TOMA Nation walked, walking in the same path that Dr. Webb Evans walked for 52 years, then we don't talk down on them, we lift them up.
Amen.
That's the real God. We will continue to do such. When we see up and coming brothers and sisters that's striving to do for self. When we see up and coming brothers and sisters who understand the difference between looking for a job and creating a job of their own. That has to be the primary understanding, not a job,
Right.
but creating a job. The job should be secondary. Then being employed by somebody else should be your secondary thought, not your primary thought. And I know it ain't easy because that's all they teach you in school is that you need to get a good education so you can go out and get a good job. They say that job is an acronym, J-O-B, saying just over broke. Do you want to continue to be just over broke? Here's a man, back to Philip, who in the 1940s in Chicago created an empire. Meanwhile, further back in the 20s, Marcus Mosiah Garvey in Harlem created an empire. Why am I bringing that to our attention? Because there's so many of us right now going, woe is me. Oh, I can't do it. It's worse today than it was yesterday. You know all them excuses. You know I'm not telling the truth because you either that person or you know someone. Huh? What did I say? I said I'm not telling the truth. Again, I'll repeat like I did earlier. Charge it to my head, not to my heart. I am really worn out today. You know, let me share something with y'all. I am so real, and this is a real movement, and you probably won't find none like it where we go, wherever you might go. As a musician, for those who don't know, I play the saxophone. And I did a concert at St. Sabina called Jazzing with the Saints. And I had to perform twice. But my performance is not really a performance, it's a ministry. And the way I do is I go into the audience, and as I play a song that has spiritual connotations to it, I have the, well, I guess it's not it's not nothing that I study or act or train for, but I go in the audience and I touch people's shoulder and shake your hand while I'm playing and all kind of things like that. And it was a lady who was a spiritualist woman one day, came up to me and said, "Your energy is low." She said, "I'm a spiritual person. Are you sick?" I said, "I had just gotten over the flu and pneumonia." They said, "Wow." I said, "Yeah, God brought me through it." She said, "You know what? I watched you as you were playing and touching people. You continue to give, but you don't replenish. I saw you. Don't you know that God has given you the gift of healing?" She said, "When you were playing, everyone you touched, you were healing." And said it was about to rain because we were outside on the patio. And she said that the sun rays in the sky kind of had one of the clouds looking purple. And the song I was playing was Purple Rain. And she said, that's what it is. You are depleting your energy and you're not replacing it. She said, "I got to talk to you about that. I hope she'll call me if she listens, because I ain't heard her from her since. But I ain't really mastered how you replenish that kind of energy. I would believe that it would be in studying the Word and studying more of the Word to replenish it. You know, you can take all the NutriVerse you want, but that ain't got nothing to do with spiritual energy. Right. You understand what I'm saying? That's to keep your physical self together, you know? But that's what I'm experiencing, you all. So I say, bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. This is going to be one of the most strangest lectures I've given this year. But back to S.B. Fuller. Thank you for the correction, Brother Minister Omari. That lets me know he's listening. When they correct you, that means they were listening. When your members ain't correcting you and you just getting down, you better check. They might be looking at you with one eye open. But anyway, back to SB. I ain't got but 17 more minutes here. We got other speakers too. Next week, you need to be prepared. I believe he may be before us, but I don't say yet. You stop laughing, young man. You're on tape. I'm going to tell who you are in a minute. He who laughs first, laughs last. Let's be careful. I've been around the block 100 times. I've seen it. So anyway, as I was saying concerning SB, since I only have 17 more minutes, I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. All right, and if I have to pull out an extra set of eyes, which I haven't done before, if it gets a little cloudy, I shall do so. S.B. Fuller. The S meaning Samuel. No one too much knows what the B is. But Fuller, born June the 4th, 1905, made his transition October 24th, 1988. He was 83 years young when he made his transition. And he had a major challenge with his kidneys. You know, and I want to share this with you all. Usually when great men retire, they get sick. And usually when great men who are doing something really big, you know, building business and all, when they have these major setbacks, they get sick because it's related. You know, just so you can understand, you know, it's two forms of giving birth. You know, one is through the womb of a woman, but another one is the womb calls your mind, where things are being brought up and thought about, and ideas being formed and shaped in your mind. And then you use that magnificent ability that God gave you to take what's in your head and manifest it and bring it outside of you. And that's like birthing a child. Your business is like birthing a child into the world. And then when you see something happen to that child, or before that child is even born and it's aborted, it affects you in your area of creation. Y'all hear me? I read about certain cases of women who get breast cancer after the marriage went south. Did y'all hear me? A great marriage, and they couldn't hardly regroup from it. And they were going through the challenges of trying to keep going without it, and trying to raise your child without them, and being rejected at jobs and things like that, and you thinking about starting your own Hallmark card business, or start your own cleaning service, or home-based business before the computers and whatnot. I just let you know where my mind is. Before computers, there were home-based businesses. You know. And they will get so deep into depression that they would form a lump in their breast. Yeah. Where milk is created. See what I'm saying? This is in areas of creation. And men, theirs become prostate cancer. See? So we got to look at these type of things. And we got to, you know, when you recognize it, you can overcome it. But back to SB, he was the founder and the president of Fuller Product Company. He was the publisher of a newspaper called the New York Age and the Pittsburgh Courier. He was the president and head of the Southside Chicago NAACP. He was the president of the National Negro Business League. And brothers and sisters, he was a Republican. He was not a Democrat. That was something that now you can see how many black people was against him, can't you? Yeah. A lot of the civil rights people was against him because the majority of the civil rights people were Democrats. So again, a lot of times black people let this sort of gang banging separate us instead of trying to find out what's really on our mind and find out what is truly best for us. We let these little denominational things and whatnot separate us from doing the good that we could do in our communities. I spoke just a little bit of the separation at our state workshop in the Masonic Order, just a little bit. And I'm only giving just pieces right now, but I'm going to stay on the same subject. And I'm going to give the same challenge to brothers and sisters who are just sitting around to go out in the streets and talk to our people. I got to do it because that's what I was sent to do. And I'm going to do what God sent me to do. S.B. Fuller's life was an illustration of business success and self-help. His company gave inspiration and training to countless aspiring entrepreneurs and future leaders, including John H. Johnson of Johnson Publishing Company, George Ellis Johnson the founder of Johnson Products. Now, if y'all remember, John H. Johnson, he's the one who also went on to get a radio station, WJPC. He went on to be the publisher of Ebony Magazine, Jet Magazine, and other magazines. So it just shows you that we had a man who was the forerunner of some of the people that we met in our day and time, who started these businesses. But now let's look at this. The guy from Johnson Publishing and the founder of Johnson Products, these two guys, last name was Johnson, no relation. Soft Sheen Products and all of that. You cannot find their businesses thriving today. So that means that the only one who is still in business that came through S.B. Fuller is a brother by the name of Joe Dudley. Dudley Beauty and Hair Care Products and Dudley Beauty College. And I believe he's today now in his 80s. S.B. Fuller turned his business over to Joe Dudley. And this is something that we got to look at too. Brothers and sisters, most times, black men, black successful men, black successful women who want to turn their business over to their children. And their children, in reality, are not worthy. And that child, or those children, most of them, the ones who can do the job don't want it. And the ones who can't do it got some social issues and problems, either bipolar or alcoholic or a drug addict. I'll run it, Daddy. I can run it. I can run it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, right? And wind up losing the whole thing. And the parent can see it before it happens. And so that parent made a bad decision. That business leader, parent, makes a bad decision. He can't turn it over to a niece. He can't turn it over to a nephew. So he makes a bad decision. And the bad decision that he makes usually is that he sell it to someone that is not of his ethnicity, or he dies and it just goes anyway. We need to follow the great examples of those of the past. If S.B. Fuller couldn't find no one that was a relative, he turned it over to someone that was in his company that he knew and felt would take it to the next level. Same way Dr. Webb Evans did when he turned over the UBAPA to me, because he didn't see anybody among his family line that would take his movement, his organization, and keep it going and take it to the next level. Brothers and sisters, that's what we got to do. John H. Johnson, that's what he was supposed to have done. George Johnson, that's what he's supposed to have done. Fuller was born into poverty to a sharecropper family. Brothers and sisters, the new sharecropping is network marketing. I always bring it up to date so you can know. There's nothing wrong with sharecropping as long as you get your share. But the other word crop means to go plant other than the person you're sharing with, so that eventually you'll have your own crop. Don't that make sense? So there's nothing wrong with network marketing, and you get your fair share. But you got to take the money from network marketing, brothers and sisters, and do like another great brother did by the name of Ken Bridges. And he created his own network marketing network. And he learned how to do it through Amway. But again, the enemy struck him down and took him out. The movement that he created was called My Time. But the blueprint that he set up we still have it. And our goal is to be in the network marketing business and then create one of our own so that we can help Cassie and Tequila and all take those products and put them into a black distribution channel so that we might have a distribution channel of our own. Because there's no reason why the white man should still be the major distributor on this planet of black products and everybody else's products when we can do for self. We know it can be done because he did it. We know it can be done because S.B. Fuller did it. So he knew it could be done because he knew who S.B. Fuller was, and he mentioned S.B. Fuller, and one of his major contributors to his Dudley Products Corporation was Joe Dudley. Joe Dudley was a major contributor to getting Mata off the ground. So he knew how to go back and talk to those people. He knew how to connect with those who came from other ancestors and pass that information down. This is what we must do. We cannot fail again. Or shall I say we should not. I keep it at cannot. I'm not going to say should not. We cannot fail again. We will not fail again. Take this information, share this information, pick up this book, read this book, let people know about it. Join us every Sunday at 12:30 when we go live, from 12:30 to 1:30. But yet we continue on. If you missed this at 1:30, we continue on to 2 o'clock, where we have what we call question and answer. But until we meet again, and until I come on the podium again, we ask that you look us up on Facebook, /TOMA Nation 2. And then the Dr. Webb Evans brother that you heard me discuss and talk about, look him up. Find out more about him on Facebook. But it will be under Dr. Webb Evans, CDC. And there's another one, UAPAINC, all on Facebook. And let me throw in a little curveball for you. If you want to know a little more about the Sax Preacher, that's www.saxpreacher.com. Check me out too. Then you'll understand why I was just a little more out today. But God still used me, I believe. Did God use me pretty good today, y'all?
Yes.
Let me hear. I close out by saying, come out of her and pool our resources. Sustain black business in order to stop the killing and start the building. We need to build the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven on earth. And you can help us. We need our own man, our own media, our own black channel of distribution, our own home care and personal care product production, our own entertainment corporation, our own full service food co-op supermarket, our own military, our own army, our own security. We need our own schools, our own banks, our own hospitals, our own clinics. We got enough doctors now. We should be able to come and pool their resources and open up a clinic. Start with a clinic, then it move into a hospital. Who says it can't be done? Just look at those who came before us. Look at the Black Panther Party with Huey Newton. They opened up clinics in the community. Health clinics. Started off with black people who were nurses. And all you would have to do is come there to get your blood pressure done, to get checked for diabetes, little small stuff. Then it spread on out to other things. So we can still do it today. Y'all got to be like George Clinton said in the work that we have to do. I'm talking about George Clinton of Parliament Funkadelics. As I close out, I want to use one of his lyrics. And I want you all to pick it up as we move forward to become economically free. Feet don't fail me now. Peace.
Peace.